Welcome back to Introduction to Engineering Design. This is 4.1G, question number 2. So in this exercise, it asks you to create another part by the most efficient means possible. So when I look at this, I'm going to do a subtractive design on it. So I'm going to start out by sketching my overall part cube size, which would be 60 by 40 by 30. So one thing to notice here is this right here. Dimensions are in millimeters. So we're going to want to set that before we do any dimensioning. So it's really important to understand what units we're working in Solidworks. So I'll come up here and start with File, New, and we'll choose a part. Doesn't really matter the plane we're going to sketch in. So once I get my new part started, I'm going to sketch out this cube that's 60 by 30 and 40. Okay, we've got our part started up. I'm going to go ahead and start with a sketch. So let's come up here to the Sketch tab, Sketch button, choose the front plane, and I'm just going to start out with a center rectangle this time. So you'll see center rectangle, and you'll notice the tool on this. So let me go ahead and zoom in on this. You'll notice the tool actually gives me that center rectangle. It's a very small icon, but I'm going to start coincident with my origin. Click once, release, and expand out, and then click a second time. Now, one thing I haven't done is I haven't changed my dimensions. So notice down here in the corner, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to come down here, maybe. You zoom out. Let me just come down here without my magnifier on and select MMGS because it's in millimeters. That kicks me out of my sketch. So to get back into my sketch, what I want to do is click on the sketch itself, and the very first icon here is Edit Sketch. Now I'm back in my sketch. So I should have set my units when I started. Let's start my dimensioning though. Looking at this, it's 60 by 40 tall. So I use that center rectangle, and it remains proportional. So I'm going to go 40 tall and 60 wide. And you'll notice once I do that, I'm fully dimensioned because I started it at the origin, and it's centered about the origin. This is a really neat tool for making a symmetrical part, which we'll use later on. Next up, what I need to do is extrude it 30 millimeters deep. So I'll exit my sketch, go to my features, and extrude. It asks me what do I want to extrude. I'll click the body that I want to extrude, and I'm going to do a mid-plane again. And we want 30 millimeters. Accept that extrusion. And now you'll see I've got the start of my shape. Now what I need to do is cut this square out, and it is 15. And I don't really know how wide it is, but I can derive how wide it is. So let's go back to SolidWorks and let's start another sketch on the front surface. Click on that front surface. This time I'm going to choose a corner rectangle, the top one. I'm going to start so that it's coincident with my top line of my cube. Click once, drag it out, and drop it. Select my rectangle, and now let's give it the same dimensions that the drawing shows. 15 millimeters down, 10 millimeters in from one side, 25 from the other. So let's start out going from the top down, 10, from the left side in, 15, and from the right side in, 25, I believe. And let's look if we got that. Looks like we do. 25, 15, and 10. All right, I can exit that sketch. And now I'll show you another thing, that if I select the sketch that I want to extrude, and then I choose Features, Extruded Cut, it will select that sketch. Now I'm going to go through all. That means it'll go through all the body regardless how wide it is and accept my cut. I've now got my cut made. So looking at my model, let's do this again, and I'm just going to do it without a lot of talking for this little 10 by 15 rectangle down on the lower side. So I'll go in and do this, and I'm going to start out with an extruded cut command, and it asks me what surface do I want to cut on. Select my surface and make my sketch. Looks like all my dimensions are right. Exit my sketch. And because I started out of an extruded cut, it assumes that's what I want to do, but you'll notice I'm not going deep enough. So I want to go through all. There's my cut. I'll save this part as question 2. In my folder. And that's it for this part. Thanks for watching.